we're not so confident about the Heat running it back this year, although we shouldn't doubt because they ran it back and lo and behold, they got further almost to the promised land this year. So you think, every year they've been taking a step. Maybe if they run it back again,
I mean, let's see.
they'll take that one step further.
First year with Jimmy, final. Second year, first round elimination,
Swept.
by the Bucks.
Mm-hmm.
Eastern Conference final, NBA final.
It's only one more thing he needs. Another player on the team.
3 out of 4 Eastern Conference finals, man.
AllYouCanHeat.com has released an article that is titled 8 High Ceiling Reclamation Projects Miami Heat Could Target. These are guys that they have high ceilings, but they're taking a risk. High risk, high reward, or maybe high risk, no reward.
I like some of these names.
We're going to break some of them down. Let's start off with the first one that comes up. Cam Reddish.
All right, let me break down the Cam Reddish.
Yeah, you know him better than most of us.
All right. Cam Reddish was the third best player in that unbelievable Duke class that Zion RJ Barrett was, but he was a great shooter. And in some projections, he was actually a better player than RJ, even though RJ was considered the number one player in the country. He went to Duke, he was trying to get his foot in, trying to see where he fits in, because all the hype was on Zion, and then if it wasn't on Zion, it would be on RJ. He got drafted. I think he was drafted by Atlanta, or he might, but he was drafted by Atlanta. But he's played on so many teams. He was on the Knicks team, and we traded him to get Josh Hart, and we're happy with that.
Good trade,
absolutely great trade. Reddish is talented and he could shoot. He might be a good fit for the Heat because you get in that culture, and the Heat utilize your strength and hide your weaknesses like that. They have a great way of utilizing your strength, hiding your weakness. Maybe he needs to be in a system like that. He's too young and too talented not to be a good player in the NBA. So maybe that would be a good signing, because it's not going to be much.
No,
it's not going to be much. It's more of a show and prove.
This is your chance. Now, I'm going to say pass because we can probably get a free agent or a rookie free agent or an undrafted free agent and probably have similar numbers. But, that's once again, high risk, maybe high reward. We'll see. Cam Reddish. Another
name. And Portland's got to get rid of people as well. So
yeah, they're trying to get rid of. They want you and I playing on the team next year for Dunkin' Donuts and some coffee in the lobby. That's what they really want. I would do that too for you. Now the next name, I like this one. I do. Robert Covington.
Bobby Covington.
He's a 3-and-D guy. He can actually shoot some pretty good threes. He plays good D. He's got a good build. I think he's underrated. I think he's played well everywhere he's been. He is 32, though. That's a little something right there.
He's 32, but he's one of those, because he's a 3-and-D guy.
Yeah, he's a young 32.
And he's played in the West, played with Portland, played with Clippers. He's a good fit for the Heat.
I
wouldn't. It's almost like when you had, it's a better PJ Tucker.
He's kind of like a better Max Strus, about the same size, maybe a little bit better of a shooter, maybe a little less streaky.
He could defend.
I've always liked Robert Covington, and it's not just because he's a New Orleans guy, but because I have kept an eye on him and I have been impressed with what he's done. I always thought he kind of got a little underrated for what he did. So they're even saying in the article, he's a bigger kind of Max Strus, from Caleb. He'd be a great guy with Caleb Martin, man. Ooh, that would be good. Okay, so I like Robert Covington. You like Cam Reddish.
I like Covington more than Reddish, if you're from the names so far. So as we're going 8-1. I can understand why number 8, if Cam Reddish is the last on the list.
So I'm glad you bring that up, Vlad. We will rate these guys at the end. I wasn't going to rate them, but why not?
Yeah, I'm gonna rate them.
What about Matisse Thybulle from the Portland Trailblazers?
Yeah, he's a former top 20 pick. He's a good guard. He could defend. His shooting kind of is
Yeah, I mean, nothing really exciting. I mean, honestly, him or Cam Reddish, I see more of a plus side with Cam Reddish. Matisse, we'll see. What about Chris Duarte from the Indiana Pacers? He's young.
Doesn't do anything.
He had a good rookie campaign.
As the great late Jim Mandich used to say, there's Make my toes tingle.
Let's just say this. He averaged 8 points and 3 rebounds.
Yeah, that's not it.
We need a little more than 8 points, lad. I don't know about that reclamation project.
That's not it. That's not it.
Okay, we're going to move on with that boredom. Now I like this next one. I've watched him with the Pelicans. I've watched him with Detroit. I've watched him with Houston. He is one unrestricted free agent by the name of Christian Wood.
Nah, bro.
No.
Mm-mm.
No.
Mm-mm.
When he gets the chance to play, he is a baller.
Yeah, when he's always either hurt, and for his size, he doesn't rebound or he doesn't do much. He's really a guy that wants to be outside the arc all the time, taking jump shots.
He was a 2010 guy in Houston his first year
but
there.
Guess what, Dan? You know, for bad teams, there's got to be a guy that put the ball in the hoop, right?
Yeah, he was on a really bad Pelicans team.
Okay,
when I
then.
watched
So
him.
if you're the 10th most talented offensive player on a bad team, you can average 20 points.
Yeah, but he shows that he can do it at least.
No.
I like him. I've seen his skill set. I like the skill set. I like that he can relieve Bam from some of his duties. He's got some decent size.
But he doesn't rebound.
He can score.
He's a big man that you could take him inside. He would. Oh, come on. In the Knicks series or against Milwaukee, they would abuse him. He's not even. Come on, man. There's not even bigs in the West, and he wasn't exposing them. They would. Come on. He took a bad hit this past season with Dallas. He was supposed to be the second guy to help Luka.
He didn't even play that much in Dallas, did he?
No.
They took him out. That's what I'm saying. This is a reclamation project. Maybe we can get him going right again. He'll be a good addition. He and Bam in the backcourt or front court. I like that. I think they'd be a good 1-2 punch right there.
I think like a couple of leaders, man. He's light in the ass, or I don't see it.
Don't like him.
Nope.
What about Orlando's Jonathan Isaac?
Isn't he a former Florida State guy?
Mm-hmm. FSU.
He still hasn't
lots of injuries.
Yeah.
I just don't want to take. I mean, once again, love Victor Oladipo. I just don't want to take on another injury project, man, because we know how it could possibly end. And if you've had injuries over the past 2 seasons and barely played 11 games, 11 games in 3 seasons, I take that back.
Look at the guys that you're naming. That was the problem with the Heat this past season. There was a lot of injuries that affected the team.
Yeah, and
there was no consistent lineup up until the end of the season, which was why they made their run. But that was why the season was so up and down last year.
They had
this past season because there was a lot of injuries. So, were you going to sign guys who also are injury prone?
Yeah. And Vlad, there's always these red flags and there's these deal breakers in relationships. I can't get past this. 11 games in the last 3 seasons. I can't do it.
Nah, fam.
Can't do it. Sorry.
You stealing money.
I know this one's going to be exciting for everyone. Oh, goodness. Reclamation project. Maybe the biggest reclamation project in the NBA. Unrestricted free agent, meaning whatever. Go where he wants or wherever someone will take him. Dillon Brooks. Heat culture.
Okay, when we were talking about this right before the segment began, and then you said his name, and I'm like, you know what? He does fit heat culture. And then boom, I remembered that man couldn't hit the side of a barn. Let me go old school dad references today.
I got you on that one.
Happy Father's Day. Bro, the Lakers left that man open. It was like, go ahead, shoot. Go ahead. And he was missing everything. And I know it's shocking because if you really looked at his numbers, other postseasons, he actually scored. He was like the second leading scorer the postseason before. And he's averaged 17 points. But
yeah, he truly regressed.
Your defense wasn't really all of that.
His past season, he averaged 14 points, 3 rebounds a game on a career worst, 40% shooting from the field, 33% shooting from 3-point range.
In a contract year.
Yeah, so bad that his team just said, "Gah."
They let you know out the gate, we're not bringing you back.
It was like the day after they got eliminated from the playoffs. We're not bringing you back. I was like, did I read that right?
I don't know.
I don't know, but you think maybe he gets in
on
there,
the cheap? If he's coming on the cheap,
gets into the Heat culture, works at it, gets really hard. Maybe he raises his average to 18 points a game, gets some better shooting.
If he's coming on the cheap, I don't think it's a bad signing. But if he's expecting to get some type of money, no. But Dillon Brooks, defensively, yes. That,
I think he fits the Heat.
He definitely fits the Heat. But offensively, that's what the Heat need. They need offense. They need scorers. And Dillon Brooks is not that.
And the last Reclamation project. I like this guy. We talked about it yesterday. I hope he ends up with the Heat. We've been flirting with him for years now. Is the Atlanta Hawks John Collins, the guy that brings his suitcases to every single game, whether it's home or away, because he is always in trade talks with people. I like him. I think he's a good player. I think he needs a little nurturing. And who better to nurture him than Heat culture?
Is he a free? No, it's trade, right? It would have to be a
Yeah, it'd have
trade.
to be a trade. They'll never just let
See,
him
I don't
go.
understand. I don't understand why you would trade within the division. Like you're giving your op talent. Like I can't see that. I can't see you giving your rival.
He's
a team-
fallen from the good graces of the Hawks. Apparently, maybe their relationship is just sour, and you just want to get him out.
Yeah, but they're gonna want something back.
Yeah, but maybe he can offer something more than other teams could offer.
Mm-mm.
I still think DeJounte Murray and John Collins, that's going to be a big ask for the Heat.
I don't see that happening. I see you have a better chance of trading for Bradley Beal and Dame. I know these are 8, what you said, reclamation projects.
Yeah,
but high ceiling reclamation projects, no.
possible.
I will say this though: you could sign one of these guys and then make a big deal for Dame or Beal.
Then you got a team.
Then you got a pretty legit squad.
So I like John Collins. You don't like John Collins.
I don't think you should trade that. Is what you're giving up to get John Collins. That's what I'm.
Do we like Dylan Brooks? I don't know, man. I don't feel right. I don't feel right.
Why you don't feel right?
I mean, I just feel as though
I know Heat fans would definitely want, definitely accept him.
Okay, I take
and
him.
the fact that he hates LeBron will make the Heat fan base even.
And he works hard,
right? The Heat fan base will like him more that he hates because he hates LeBron.
Kind of seems like he'd be a good accentuation to Jimmy Butler. They seem like they would play well together.
All right, everybody. Our boy Trevor saying Fred Van Fleet.
Yeah, that's not a reclamation project.
It's not a reclamation project.
That's an all-star.
And also, that would be weird to have Fred come in and
that'd be some points.
And Lowry's in the back. It'd be like role reversal.
Kyle Lowry's still counting that $30 million next year.
Remember, the reason why Lowry was available to be traded was because of
they believed in Fred Van Vliet.
And then now he's going to take his job over again.
Get out of my life!
And by the way, if you get Van Fleet, what are you going to do? That's 3 point guards you're going to have.
Yeah, you're going to have to get rid of somebody. You can't get rid of Lowry because you got to pay him $30 million unless you want to pay it over 3 years instead of 1 year. I don't know.
Unless they're going to do that.
What's it called? Wave and Reach?
The
Wave and Reach or something.
Wave and Reach.
Yeah. Wave and stretch. That's what it is. Wave and stretch. So instead of paying, if you cut Kyle Lowry, you can now pay a salary out over 3 years.
Okay, so this is basically what they used to have. What they had that back in the days. Started with EX because the Knicks did that with Chauncey Billups, where you can buy out the contract of somebody just cut them, but you can only do that one time.
Oh, okay,
but that was it. And Van Fleet,
good player,
great player, younger.
He's just not getting any bigger, and he just seems like
I actually see him going to Philadelphia. To be quite honest,
yeah,
I think he joins his former coach Nick Nurse, and they do Van Fleet and Joel Embiid. Here's the thing, guys.
Yeah, that's.
I need the draft to come this week. The draft is this week. Is this upcoming week? I need the rumors because the first week, once July 1st hits, those first 3-4 days of NBA free agency is fun. It's like it's the best.
All the puzzle pieces start falling into place.
That's when all the craziness is happening. I need to know what's going. When do they go to Vegas? I need to know when they go to Vegas.
3 weeks from now.
Okay, Vegas and 2. See, we're all right. We're all right. The NBA rumors, the NBA free agency is going to get us right to training camp. So we're all right. It's not going to be heavy sports, but we're going to have some sport news. We're okay.
Let's finish this out. Jonathan Isaac, we don't like you.
No,
we don't like you with your injuries. They scare us off. Christian Wood, I like you. Vlad thinks you're soft.
Amnesty, thank you. Amnesty, thanks, Trevor. That was what it was. Amnesty.
Soft served ice cream. Chris Duarte, nobody cares. Matisse Thibault, no, really. Robert Covington, we both like.
Thibault's actually the type of player that he would like, though. Even though I just don't like his shooting form.
Cam Reddish, we feel as though he could either be a high ceiling or kind of basement. Not really that great.
He could give you like 4 good games where he's like, oh man, he's giving you 50. He's averaged 15 points these last 4 games, and then he could be a guy that goes 3-4 games and not see any and he burned.
So what's your best option, Vlad? What do you think the best option for the Heat would be out of those guys?
All right. After looking at these
There's 3 I really
these
like.
targets, even though I don't like his shooting form, Thibault would be one.
Oh,
Not number one, but he would be one of the 3. You could get him on the cheap. Covington would be my number 1 guy. I think that he can get. 32 is not that old, and he's been in these playoff battles before. Could shoot and defend. And number 3,
say it,
Dillon Brooks.
I know. And that means Dillon Brooks is coming to the Heat, everybody.
Because you could get him on the cheap, bro. Collins, you're gonna have to make a trade for, right?
Yeah, Collins, you're gonna have to trade for.
With Cam Reddish, you're also gonna have to make a trade for. It's gonna have to be a sign and trade.
Robert Covington is a Clipper, so you're gonna have to make a trade for him. Dylan, look, love you. Heat culture. Don't talk noise to some of the best players in the league. Like, leave LeBron alone.
Sign that man to a $2 million deal.
Yeah.
Show improve.
And leave LeBron alone.
Well, you're not going to have to see LeBron.
I know, but what I'm saying is just when he comes to town once a year, leave him alone.
Just leave the best players alone.
Let Jimmy do the talking for you. How about you do that? Let Jimmy talk for you. You just play basketball.
So come on, Dillon Brooks.
Dillon Brooks.
But you're not. And
it's going to happen now. I can just feel it. Can you not feel it, Vlad?